Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tommy here from Saleslucky.com, and today I want to share with you guys some content around really the culmination of what I learned about sales over the past decade or so. And it really starts with understanding what sales is about and what it's not about, okay? And truth be told, when we are young, when we watch movies about sales, when we watch the media portray salespeople, or we've had bad experiences with salespeople in the past, it's given us a conception of what sales is. And after doing it for a while, I'll tell you what it is and what it is not. And the truth is that to be good at sales, oftentimes you have to first unlearn or forget what you think sales is about. Most people think sales is about being pushy, being manipulative, and it's nothing like that at all. So the first point is that sales is not about convincing, it's about understanding. You see, in order to influence somebody, we must first understand what already influences them. And in order to do that, we must seek to understand. And instead of trying to persuade somebody, with force, or trying to convince somebody, which so many people would think that's what sales really is, but let me tell you, sales is more about understanding people than it is about convincing people, okay? You need to understand what people like and what people want in order to influence them. And you don't do that by talking, you do that by listening. So the second point here is, it's not about talking, it's more about listening. So this goes hand in hand with understanding. In order to understand somebody, we must listen, right? We must listen. So the best salespeople are really the best listeners. They're really good at picking up customers' needs, customers' pain points, exactly what they're looking for, even things that they're not verbally saying. Maybe they're saying through their body language, etc. Okay? And the third point here is, it's not about your product or features, it's about the benefit. So, when people start out in sales, they often think it's about the product, they think it's about all the features, and as a result, they list out all the features of the product. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not really about that. It's more about the benefit. And I'll give you an example, okay? So, when people go buy a drill, why do people go buy a drill? Is it because they really want a drill in their garage? Well, it's probably not. The reason why people buy drills is because they want a hole in the wall, right? They don't buy drills because they want a drill. They buy a drill because they want a hole in the wall. And in the same way, your customers don't really care about your features, your product. They really care about the benefits, the results that your product is gonna, and those features are gonna provide them. So it's about, the hole in the wall, not the drill. It's about the benefit, not the features, okay? Next is that sales is an emotional game first and a logical game second. So let me explain. So when we sell something, when we make decisions, or when we buy something, when we make decisions, those are emotional decisions. We make our purchases based on emotion. And that's just how it works. We are very emotional creatures as human beings, and oftentimes we like to tell ourselves we're logical, and we like to explain to ourselves how we're making the logical decision. But the truth is, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that your decisions are often made emotionally, and then you justify them with logic after the fact. So that's the same thing when you go to sell somebody. When you go to sell somebody, it's an emotional game first. Meaning you got to get them to be emotionally bought in, and you got to sell them emotionally first. You got to be emotionally bought in. And once people are emotionally bought in, then oftentimes all you need is a little bit of logic to tip them over the edge and to become customers. Okay, so that's how that typically works. And then the last point here is that sales is ultimately about helping people. I've talked about this all throughout my blog, YouTube videos, channel here, that at the end of the day, the number one piece of advice I give beginner salespeople is that if they can just get rid of all the things they had learned about sales and had thought what sales was, maybe reading books from people who sold 3-4 decades ago, the truth is that the landscape has changed drastically, and that customers are more in tune, more attuned, and just more aware of what's happening in our world than ever. And as a result, the sales tactics that might have worked decades ago that are cheesy or sleazy or slimy, they don't work anymore. And really the only way that really works is by helping people, by solving problems, by genuinely and openly looking to solve people's problems and help people. I know that might sound like a no-brainer, but it's the truth. And if you can get that in your head, and you can get that programmed in your head when it comes to sales, instead of, you know, what you can get, or instead of, you know, trying to be pushy or convince somebody, it's more about, you know, serving people, understanding people, and helping people. And if you can get that in your head, you're going to be so far ahead of all the other salespeople out there that are still struggling to understand that, okay? So I hope you guys found value in this video, in this post. And if you found value, please go ahead and share it with a friend. I do make this content on my own, and I would greatly appreciate it if you can share it with a friend if you found it valuable, okay? See you guys soon. Take care, guys, and remember what sales is really about, okay? Cheers.